to just sit and talk and not get paid for it.
What's your average runtime on these things? It's
About
usually like 2.5 hours, right? Yeah.
2.5 to 3. We said, fuck your hour. We're going to triple it.
All right, so
Just sit and talk.
I'm trying to. Looks like Ben's out. Paul, 2 guys are out, so looking good for us just doing it.
Sweet.
Also, are you starting that? Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, let's.
Oh, you already started?
Mm-hmm. It's all right. A little pre-show bullshitting. It doesn't hurt anyone.
Hey man, it's Kevin Smith.
Hey, this is Jay Music. Hey, I'm Scott Snyder. I'm Steve Harris.
Sweet.
You're listening to the Absolute Geek. The Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek Podcast.
Late as always.
Why is that not coming through? I don't know why it's not coming through. Welcome, everyone, to the Absolute Geek Podcast. My name is Matt.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Brian.
I'm Travis.
Hey, and we are great news. We are fresh out of quarantine. Yay, quarantine's over in Arizona. Coronavirus is over. It is no
gone.
longer around, gone, does not exist.
Go back to your lives.
Yeah.
Everything is normal now.
Everything is business as usual. Go back to standing right next to me in line at Walmart like you want to be in my hip pocket. Go back to sneezing on your neighbor, high-fiving your cousin, hugging that stranger in line at Subway, whatever you feel like doing. Nothing is off the table. Nothing is off limits now. Coronavirus is over, ladies and gentlemen. It's officially done.
I think it's an important reminder at this juncture to remind people about simple niceties like deodorant. You're going to have to start wearing that again if you're going to go out in public. That would be nice. Washing your clothes before you put them on. These are all things that we haven't done in months. And before you go out there, people, you're going to have to, shape up.
We can all finally look like normal humans again instead of like we all joined the Grizzled Geek fan club. All grizzled and long hair and, what are you going to do? Yeah, you can go back to licking handrails and you can go back to being like the little fat kid I saw in Walmart and licking the frozen food doors and, doing all that kind of cool things. Corona's over.
I just love it. Our wonderful governor was like, I applaud everybody for washing their hands the last 2 months.
Yep. I applaud you for doing things you should have done as a child since you've been a child.
That you should do every day no matter what. I applaud you guys because you guys have finally started to what in the fuck? Is that the reason there was no soap on the shelves? Because everybody's washing. That goes to show you how many motherfuckers are nasty out there. It takes a pandemic to wash your hands. Yuck, motherfuckers! Wash your hands.
Right.
Yeah, especially people in our demographics. Do you guys? I did like 5 or 6 years ago. We were doing a panel on Phoenix Comic Con, and we were doing some videos for them. So we had to show up for the orientation for the Phoenix Con, and it had all the volunteers. Yeah, all the volunteers there, and so it had this whole room of all these people, and they look like your typical demographic, and they're going through the rules, and they spent 10 minutes, and they had slides on hygiene. They're like, you guys have got to put deodorant on. You got to wash your crotches. Because, those like after day one, that place just stinks like prepubescent, like kids who are going through puberty, but no one has told them like your body is producing oils and smells and secretions. You got to get that shit locked down. And so hopefully the nerdy comic crowd will come out strong and clean.
When my son was starting to go through puberty, he'd walk up and I'd be like, hey man, I'm gonna let you in on a little fucking secret right now. What's that? You fucking stink. Go in there and put some deodorant on. You do not want to be in class. You do not want to be the stinky kid. But
Yeah.
I guess if 80% of the class is the stinky kid, I guess the clean kids are the
minority.
yeah. You smell like
Yeah.
fucking eternity for men.
This year I'm teaching 6th graders, and they go from 11 to 12. So when they come in, they're like 11, they're just like little baby seals, right? Like they don't produce anything, but by the end of the year they start stinking, and your whole room just smells like Whoppers. Like, if you ever open up a Whopper smells
Fucking
like
onions,
BO.
just the onion.
Yeah, onions and whatever that sauce is. I come in, I don't know if I should be disgusted or hungry, but I'm like, you guys. And then their parents aren't doing it, so I have to pull them aside and have this conversation. They always start crying because you're calling them stinky in the nicest way possible.
That's sad.
Can my
Yeah.
my brother, when he was going through puberty, my mom was in denial, and his shit smelled like chicken noodle soup. And I still make fun of him to this day. It smells like someone, when you just pop open that can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup, that waft you get, that's what his BO smelled like. I was like, dude.
That's his brand.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you need to get deodorant. My mom would not buy him deodorant for the longest time because she was in denial that he was going through puberty. And I was like, the kid stinks. He's got to have that deodorant, man.
And I'll let everybody in on a secret. Just because you wash your armpits does not take the stink away.
No, you live in Phoenix. It gets to be 120 degrees. You need some pretty powerful underarm deodorant and protection there.
And the natural shit you buy lasts for about 76 seconds.
Yeah.
I was a stinky kid. I was so stinky, like in like 3rd grade. I go take a shower and I wouldn't like properly wash my armpits. And my mom got to the point where after showers, I had to do like an armpit check where she would stick her nose like my armpit and be like, nope, hop back in that tub. You stink. And it was so embarrassing.
You just stand there and let the water run on you for 5 minutes and you got
Yeah,
out.
I'd be like playing with the action figures in the tub. I'm not doing any washing business. I'd get out, I'd be like, I'd flick some soap on my armpit and try to fool her. But she's like, she got real in there.
Should have bloodhound just to sniff your pits. Huh?
Yeah, she just like go back in there. I'm like scouring my hairless armpits as a 6-year-old.
I think as another PSA, we have to announce that Axe body spray is not a sufficient cover up for actual antiperspirant deodorant.
No, because then you smell like funk and
Yeah.
Axe. And they don't mix well.
Yeah, you smell like Axe and ass.
You smell like Axe.
Yep.
All right, well, this public service announcement has been brought to you
By coming out from Corona. You're leaving your house, make sure to wash your nasty ass. Still, I've looked for the last week and a half since last Friday when they opened barbershops. Still can't get a haircut. Still 116-minute wait.
I'll cut
most
your hair for you.
places. No, thank
Your
you.
hair's looking hot. Your hair's looking tight. It's looking like it's.
Oh, it's just because I got out of the shower because I didn't want to be the stinky kid on the podcast, so I showered before we started. I literally
I grew
left
up
playing
in-
Call of Duty to go shower real quick.
I grew up in a household where everything always smelled really good. My mom's one of those people where she always has candles going, and it was a really clean household. So like if my house in any way stinks, like the littlest bit, I freak out. Like and sometimes those are hard to find. Like you'll walk through like a doorway or something, and you'll catch that little whiff of like mildew,
Like-
and
Like
you're
one
like,
time-
or dogs.
And he had knocked out 2 walls because he was trying to. No, I'm just playing. He was trying to find the stink.
oh my god, man!
Did you had a potpourri mom? Did anyone have like moms that are really big in the potpourri, and they'd be in bowls, and that shit would smell so good, like cinnamon? You're like, can I snack on this?
My mom is the type of woman that decorates for every holiday, and she decorates with candy and candles.
Oh, so smell matches the holiday.
So there's always candles around that smell like, if it's Christmas, it smells like evergreens and shit. And there's like Christmas color M&Ms in different color glass bowls everywhere, or Christmas. Different types of old school Christmas candy, like the rock candy that you can get in bowls everywhere. Like she did that type of shit. It was crazy, man.
All right. Well, let's take this a little bit further. All right, geeky question. Let's pick like 3 comic book characters, like a Spider-Man. What if you had a Spider-Man smell? What would a Spider-Man candle smell like?
Probably that stinky boy.
It would smell like
Robert.
it would smell like when you were in high school and you come back to gym class after Christmas
Yeah,
break
after
and you
wrestling.
open that locker and
Yeah.
it's just like that waft of funk and BO
Oh,
and
like when
dirty
he would
socks.
take his mask off.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got a good one. What if it smelled like a dark room, like the chemicals and stuff in it? Like, he is a photographer.
Yeah.
Batman would be, it gotta be a leathery. It's gotta be like a leathery smell,
That's
right?
what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Smell like fucking bondage.
Flash would kind of smell like something was burning.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
smelled like
yeah.
burnt hair.
Or mesquite or hickory. That Superman would be like cookies, just cookies.
Oh yeah.
American Pie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
Apple
There it is.
pie.
Apple
Yeah,
pie.
like a spiced apple. Man, we're good at this. Is someone writing these down?
No,
Cut to
would be
Kyle's
like
opening a
car
chemical
leather.
lab in his garage, making candles.
This is Superman candle.
I always
Oh,
said
dude, so we can go. I don't mean to interrupt you, but we'll just go to Walmart and I'll buy all the apple pie candles there, and we'll take it off and we'll put Superman logos on it.
There you go. Aquaman smells exactly
Yeah,
like
or
you
even
think he would.
better.
I always wanted to come up with
Let's
a
start-
candle that smelled like really good weed before you smoke it. Like if I could find candles
Ah.
that smell like weed, like cannabis before you smoke it, then I think I'd be a billionaire.
So you just want me to come over and shoot a skunk in your house?
No, I would grow weed in my house, dude. Like just to aerate with that beautiful, like sometimes you can get like citrusy like skunk smells. But
Ooh,
anyway.
so-
I think we should start a line on a podcast. What if
Solo
Grizzle
Wookiee's
Geek,
debating you.
the absolute geek smell.
Solo Geek says, or Solo
That's
Wookie says
awesome.
that Captain America smells like apple pie, not Superman. Because he's as American as apple pie.
That Superman is apple pie, right? That's what they say. It's as American as Superman and apple pie.
I think Wonder Woman smells like
Yeah.
Wonder Woman would smell like sunflowers.
I think Captain America is bacon and eggs.
Ooh,
Aquaman
I can get
smells
behind
like
that.
lava silvers.
I bet you Swamp Thing smells like Kush before you smoke it.
There you go. Yeah, that's your smell right there.
Brian, you just see Swamp Thing walking around and Brian's just following behind him, just sniffing him. Like
Sniffing his butt.
nonchalantly, like lighting a little bit of him. He's like, knock it off. Like trying to
Sniffing my
stop
butt.
it.
We'll get that swamp stink.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Swamp ass.
He farts and Brian's like, ooh, exhales like he just took a monster hit. Bacon and eggs.
Someone has to have done that, right? Someone has to have done that in a swamp thing run where they're like rolling up pieces of swamp thing. If not, it'd be,
Trademark.
Yep, trademark.
Yeah.
It's us. We're gonna do it.
We'll talk about Swamp Thing, that shit that happened this week where
The rapper is gonna join Swamp Thing.
yeah, they kind of threw us. So they did a screwball on us, and they said they gave us Swamp Thing news and made us all think that Swamp Thing was coming back.
It is to the CW.
Yeah, but they're just gonna redo season 1, aren't they?
They got the rights to it to continue it, so they have the option to continue it if they want.
But they're not shooting anything right now,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like all the CW shows are postponed until January 2021 anyway. So we're not going to get any shows this fall either. So we
Is
wouldn't
that what they're
see
going to
it
use
until-
Swamp Thing for? To fill in that time?
That's what I'm thinking. They haven't really said, but that's what I'm thinking is that that's where that's gonna go. But DC Universe is pretty much done though, because everything's going to HBO Max. They already said Doom Patrol is going to be considered HBO Max original content, season 2. Then you're
I
going
didn't
to
watch
tighten
season
season
one.
3 on there. So if you have DirecTV or subscribe to HBO, you get HBO Max for free. So there you go. You can catch up on Titans and
Say that
Doom
again?
Patrol. If you subscribe to DirecTV or HBO and any service, as long as you have HBO, you get HBO Max for free, the new streaming service.
So anybody out there who has that and doesn't want to watch their HBO Max, just shoot me that code over.
I'll give it to you, Brian.
Oh yeah, I did sign up for the Disney, ESPN Plus, and Hulu package the other day.
There you go.
Fucking, I wanted to watch that Wu-Tang show. Have you guys watched that?
No.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it, didn't we? Or did we talk about it when it was coming out? Anyway,
I thought it was great.
yeah, it's weird.
And
It's
they're really taking their time with it.
yeah,
I mean, that first season, you keep expecting it. Like the next episode is like, when do we get to like the stuff that I know?
yeah.
Is it like a slow burn?
It feels like
yeah,
The
it's
Wire.
just slow burn. Yeah,
Kind of feels like The Wire.
You know, a show I've been
Guy
watching that
Fling Riz is really good.
that I've streamed that I just found and got into. What We Do in the Shadows, based off it's a TV show based off the movie that Taika Waititi did.
I heard
Super
that's
good show.
hilarious.
It's a very funny show. Very funny show. You can watch the first season in the like first 6 episodes of season 2 on Hulu. That's where I kind of found it. But super awesome show.
Better than that goddamn stupid Ozark.
Oh yeah, I just finished season 3 of Ozark today. That show sucks.
Oh, you mean the Mice and Men season? That's literally just stole the plot line from Mice and Men.
That show sucks.
I couldn't get through season 1. I was like, this is fucking garbage.
Season 1 is like Breaking Bad clone, and then season 2 it starts to step out of its shadow, but it's still kind of like whatever, boring.
Is that when they open the casino?
Yeah, season 3 gets a little bit better, but even by the end of season 3, like Breaking Bad, I still cared about the characters all the way to the end. Ozark, I'm just like, I just want everyone to die already. Everyone sucks. All the kids suck. Everyone sucks. Everyone just needs to die already in that show.
What was that?
Max, What We Do in the Shadows, you can watch it on Hulu, but it's on Thursdays on FXX. So good stuff.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Yeah, I am still watching it, Jake, because I had to finish it. I was already invested, and I just had to finish it. That's just how I am. Even if I'm not all about a show, if I've already been invested that much time, I've got to keep watching. Well,
here's my question, Matt. What do they do in the shadows?
It's a show
They're
about
vampires, aren't
vampires.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they doing? What are they doing in the shadows?
They have all different kinds. They different things every episode. Like they have a vampire orgy one episode. And another episode, they go to a Super Bowl party at their neighbor's house, but they call it a Super Owl Party because they don't pronounce it right. And there's 3 vampires, and one of them it's actually 4 vampires, and one of their familiars who is a descendant of Van Helsing, who wants to be a vampire, and one of them is an energy vampire, and he just like drains the energy out of people, and he's my favorite character.
Because that's what you like to do to people.
Yep, I just like to drain your energy, just talk you to death.
Like a cooler, like in Vegas, they can send those people up to you.
Yep, Jay knows the best is the energy vampire. Absolutely.
A casino hires Matt to come up there, and it's like, "Hey guys, what are you doing? Did you guys see the new Superman?" And they're like, "Oh God, craps."
So did you know that in the casino, the best odds is the craps table, and just break it down?
Did you guys see they have a Back to the Future a slot machine?
There you go.
Hey,
like a
I'm really
DeLorean.
not fucking dead.
There you go.
Does anyone smell like soup here?
I like how he sounds very the Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
Kermit the Matt the
Matt, the
All right,
energy
guys,
trainer
I'm
here.
gonna start setting everything up. So we're gonna do the hot 10 here in a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
Who you doing it with?
Pull it off with you guys. So
Oh,
we'll
fuck yeah.
I'll have to try and pull it off again like we did last time.
We're gonna try and double broadcast it, huh?
Yeah. Let me give you guys the
Double broadcast this.
code.
I don't even remember how we did the double broadcast this time. I'll figure it out though.
I think you might have went to the YouTube and done the YouTube off XSplit or something.
I think I
Anyways,
just changed the window.
Changed it to
StreamYard's in the private chat, guys.
We'll figure it out.
Fuck yeah.
There you go, Travis. You can come talk real comic books with us.
Do I gotta click on this link?
It's better than fake ones.
Better than fake
But
waves.
stay on this one too,
Okay.
Yeah.
and then just mute yourself in the one that Matt's in, or Matt can mute all of us. Or actually, you don't even need to, right?
No.
Yeah, you did that. Yeah. And then so click that link, and I'll bring you guys in.
Ooh, I feel like I'm in two places at once.
I know we're doing this all over again, huh? Two places at once.
One giant step for mankind.
Oh wow.
Oh, you sound cool with the echo on there.
One giant leap.
Yeah, it's gonna echo. How did I do this before? I can't remember how I did it before. To not have that giant ass echo.
I think you muted all of us on Flipside, and then you just you shared the YouTube from the Hot 10.
I could do that.
All right, so just mute all your guys' stuff on the Flipside one, and
That means people who are watching this on Flipside can't hear us.
no, they'll hear us once the YouTube thing is going. So once I hit live, Matt will switch to the YouTube. I'll give you the link, Matt.
No. He's saying that Flipside won't hear us if we do it that way. I
Yeah,
honestly
Flipside
can't
will
remember
hear
how we did it without all the echoing.
No, Flipside will hear us because we're not muted in the other one. Remember, you guys come over to the Flipside, so we're not muted in Flipside, but we'll be muted in Absolute. And then Matt just shares the YouTube, and the audio is coming from the YouTube.
The echo's not that bad for me, so it doesn't matter.
Let's see. Because I don't think that's how I did it last time. I think I had two StreamYard windows open. I can't remember. But we'll figure it out.
Can't remember.
I can't remember
What do you not remember?
how I did it. How I broadcasted both of them last time.
I'm not echoing.
Well, because I don't
But
have
you're-
it. I'm not in the StreamYard. I was echoing a minute ago. Let's try it now. Yes. Whose speakers are we coming through?
Mine, probably. Can you hear me?
I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Is anybody echoing?
Yeah, you've got a crazy echo.
All
You
right.
sound like you're like in a pool.
You're in a pool.
What about now?
That's much better.
Yeah.
All right, so I muted myself on the Absolute Geek StreamYard.
Okay.
So mute yourself on the Absolute Geek StreamYard, and then you should have the link to the YouTube already, right? You want me to give you that?
I mean, I could just put it through the. Because if I mute us through the StreamYard on my end, it's gonna mute our stream, and I don't know if we're gonna come through. What I'll try it. If everything goes dead to everyone, that's why. I'll try it though. Let's try it. We're gonna try it. We're gonna give it a go. Gonna give it an old college try here.
Two podcasts at once. You think
don't
this is
wanna
what
be
you're going to be doing tonight, Travis?
I want to be a party pooper.
All right, you guys ready?
Poop on any
Yeah.
parties. Hold on a second.
All right. Okay.
Because I gotta find
Energy drainer.
CBSI. All right.
All right, man. Here, I'll give you the link, Matt.
I've got it. Because I could just screen, but then it'll be double. I can't remember how I did it last time. Did I? Yeah, I can't remember how I did it last time because I don't think that's gonna work. Because I can do screen share and show it, but
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
yeah, go ahead and I guess start. Our audience isn't gonna see anything until I can get this
All right.
up and
So
running.
make sure we're muted on Absolute Geek. Can you guys
So
hear me?
I mute myself on Absolute Geek.
Yeah, and keep
Okay.
yourself on the other one.
Well, because then they're not going to be able to hear us on our channel. It's going to only come through.
But if you
Okay.
if you if you share the YouTube video and then share the audio from the YouTube video, they should hear it, right?
But what I'm saying is, if I mute myself and mute everyone on our end, everything comes through StreamYard through my system into what we stream through. So it's not going to come through. We can try it. Let's try it.
Okay. Well, we can mute everybody.
I will
but
mute
you.
myself here, and then we will do this.
Can everybody on our channel hear me?
Check.
Microphone check. All right. Let's do this.
Yeah, see, it's not going to work.
Okay. We have. If you want to try and figure it out, we can wait a couple minutes and shoot the shit about something else, and if you want to try and figure it out.
Yeah. Let's see, because I think I did it this way before. Go ahead and we do this.
Checks in the mail.
This. Let me switch this to.
You know, Brian probably relates to this. You know, when you put stuff up on eBay and then you're like, that's not a bad price, and then they sell within seconds, and you realize it's shit.
Yeah.
I undercut myself.
Yeah. What'd you put up?
I sold quite a few things, but they just were like, it was like instant. Like I've sold Thanos 13. So I had bought two. I had got one, and I ordered one off of eBay. And the one I got off of eBay came like the bottom left corner was kind of blunted a little bit from shipping.
All right, let's try this. I can hear myself coming through Brian's computer. Give me a one in chat, or one of our moderators. Somebody let us know if you can still hear us on our stream, and you can see the hot Ted and stuff on the stream.
Check.
Yeah, check. But I put it up for like, and I showed a picture of it, and I
All right, let's try this.
And I let
Okay,
it know.
Yeah,
that
we're good. I figured it out.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
to be concluded later.
This is why you guys have 3-hour podcasts.
Yeah, that's exactly. Because we try to do things on the fly because we're like progressive and edgy and things just get all messed up.
All right. So as soon as this drops, I'm gonna introduce us. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let me see here. Actually, is there an Absolute Geek logo? I was gonna see if I can throw up an Absolute Geek logo. Hold on.
Oh, I gotta fix this because I'm all cut off here.
You got a second if you want to do it.
There we go.
All right. I'm gonna throw up this Absolute Geek logo.
But yeah, I think I put the Thanos 13. Oh, all right. Are we ready?
We will be.
But I put the Thanos 13 up for like 35 or 40 bucks. And I had said,
All right.
Ready?
All right, here we go, guys. I'm gonna let it go down for 10 seconds, and then I'm gonna drop it. Here we go.
Okay.
Going live now. Welcome, everybody, to the CBSI Hot 10 Comic Show for the week of May 15th, 2020. I am here with a good group of friends from the Absolute Geek podcast. Boys, why don't you introduce yourself? Kyle?
I'm Kyle from Absolute Geek.
I'm Travis
Oh.
from Comic Exposure. I'm just going in the order.
That's
vertically.
fine. Yep. No problems. I'm Matt for Absolute Geek. How's it going, everyone?
So make sure you guys, if you get a chance, check out the Absolute Geek podcast. Check out the Comic Exposure podcast. We're just a bunch of guys talking comics and joking around, having a good time, shooting the shit. I think you'll enjoy it. But we're going to get into the Hot 10 right away here. Before I start, I want to make sure everybody do yourself a favor and, of course, go over to comicbookinvest.com where you can see the Hot 10. If you just go to the comicbookinvest.com, the Hot 10 will always be on the right side of the page, and you can see all your amazing articles. A really good new article about clowns that is going to be talking about the 3-Card Monty, which is a new show on Flipside YouTube channel where they pull out 3 clown comics and talk about it. It's a really good show. Make sure you guys check that out, and we will get right on into it. Gentlemen, here we go. The Golden Age book this week is I thought this was interesting. This was the I don't know how to say it. It's kind of risque title type stuff.
I like to call it risque in the hay. It looks like the title
exactly.
if it's an artwork, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, if it's Golden Age, it's going to be risque and in the hay and called Popular Teenagers.
I can see why she is.
Popular Teenagers number 10 by artist of this cover is L.B. Cole. L.B. Cole, a great Golden Age artist. What Ben writes about this is very few sales of this book ever, but it is an L.B. Cole cover, so it makes this romance book really cool. And an 8.5 sold this week for $1,500, which is about 6 times guide. So this again, guys, this is what we talk about every time we show you guys Golden Age books. Color, the yellow, the red, the risque things, the headlights, the rolling around in the hay, like you said, Travis.
It's that bleeding of the leaves, the yellow in those leaves, how they bleed up into the stars. I mean, that's cover craftsmanship right there.
So if you can ever find something this lovely, that old, color like that, make sure you pick it up if you get a chance. All right, on to the second honorable mention this week. This is an interesting one. Superman number 38 from 2015, the Lee Motor 1 in 50 variant. This is from the Jeff Johns run. And what Ben writes about this is 0 sales until this week when one sold for $15. The only one listed at the moment for 5 times that amount. You may be able to find this one on certain major online retailers. I don't think that people realize that this is one of the very few Stargirl incentive variants out there. Is it the only one? That's a great question. If you guys know if there's any Stargirl incentive variants, make sure you comment on the live feed or in the comments on the page. Do you guys know if there's any? Can you guys think of any Stargirl variants? The only thing I would think of is maybe some Alex Ross stuff where she's on the JSA team. I can't think of this, but Stargirl.
I was trying to remember or think about it, but
yeah, Stargirl being in the they're going to start doing the TV show coming up here soon. So I'm always been a big fan of Stargirl. I love Jeff Johns writing her, and I love the Alex Ross stuff whenever he would do JSA. So maybe there's some stuff in there for that. Number 10 is an interesting one. Number 10 hollers back to last week's list with Ball and Chain. If you remember last week's number one comic that week was Ball and Chain number 1 from Homage, because of the news that The Rock and Emily Blunt, is that her name?
Yep.
Are going to be playing the characters in this movie or TV show, whatever it's going to be. So the number 10 slot this week is held by Ball and Chain number 1, the advanced copy. So some comics will send out advanced copies where it's just the script type thing and or no cover, and it'll be just like a couple quick, like ash cans or something like that. But this one is kind of interesting because there was a beat up copy that sold this week for $200. Yeah. and about a month ago, a nicer copy sold for $10. So, the regular number one, which was number one on the list last week, is $40, $50, I believe at the time last week. So, $200 for that was nobody was even thinking about a week before is pretty good.
What
I like about this cover, the cover we're seeing now is just the fonts. The fonts on this are, it takes me back to a classical era. It takes me back to my typing classes. Bold, unbold. I mean, this is some really advanced
your days
stuff
as a
here.
theater kid. Is it getting ready for your school play?
I made a flyer.
Yep. Shout out to both shows. This is actually announced this week that Ball and Chain is going to be on Netflix. Netflix won the bidding war between the streaming services for Ball and Chain, so you will see that on Netflix.
Nice. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting.
like Zoloki pointed out, despite the not for resale on the bottom, it sold for over $200. Huh?
Yeah. All right, on to number 9 this week. The Man Called Nova number 1 from 1976. 9.8s had softened from the $1,000 they were getting back in the fall of last year all the way down to about 800s. But rumor of an Annihilation movie with Nova and Adam Warlock has put some pep back in his step, and they have jumped back up to 1,000.
Nice.
But be cautious of where that rumor originated. And I don't know where that rumor originated. I imagine it's one of the less trustworthy web pages where we hear all these movie rumors and whatnot. So
you're saying that you definitely don't have this covered?
I definitely don't have this covered. On to number 8. Oh, here you go, Matt. One of your favorites, one of your all-time favorites, Ultimate Fallout number 4, the first appearance of Miles Morales. This book is going crazy again. It was on here a couple weeks ago. But what Ben writes is ignoring some of the out of left field sales that are likely from someone thinking it was the first print. The second print is on the list this week because it just sold for over $100 at the beginning of the year for 9.8 copies, and sales this week have passed $300. So I didn't realize. I forgot that there was a second print about this with this cover. I always thought that the second print was the one where it just shows his face up close.
I dollar bin this book.
Did you really? Great book to find a dollar bin.
I have it in my stack of possible sells right now. Actually,
you throw it up there.
I dollar binned it. One of the times we were at Jesse James digging through comics when we had those huge collections, and I pulled it out. And actually, at first I pulled out and bought it, and then when I looked closer, I was like, "Oh man, it's the second print."
Score,
but now it's
$100 bucker.
That quick, it became a score.
Yeah. So, on to number 7. This is Marvel Previews number 95. Now, I know some people are going to go crazy right now because we're throwing a previews book again on the Hot 10. But, some people like this type of spec. I'm, for one, of the type of person that if I really like a character, I want to find all the early appearances, including the advertising appearances. I'm that type of collector. So, it's not really what Ben writes is not really a comic per se, but some people seem to value it for previewing Miles Morales as Spider-Man. Raw copies kind of range from $25 to $75 before, but multiple 100+ raw sales this week, as well as a $2,100 9.8 sale. Not my cup of tea, but I'm just reporting what is going on. I did not realize people were grading previews. This is just the Marvels preview. This isn't the super thick one. Remember, the Marvels preview is like a regular size book inside there. But that's still crazy to me.
Yeah, I always used to dig at long box hunting at cons. Was always fun to find previews and just kind of pick them up because they were just kind of like, I'll just throw them in the bag or whatever. It cost me pennies on the dollar, and now they're becoming a commodity, huh?
Yeah,
that's what I do with my previews. Like, you get them from the comic book store. They come on top of all my weekly readers. And when I'm done, I just put them in the box with everything else as I'm flipping through books looking for them. All those previews are in between everything, and they just kind of sit there.
Yeah. Well, you know me, Kyle, I love any type of old school preview type magazine, whether it's, like Amazing Heroes or even previews, even Wizard. I love grabbing all that type of stuff. So
I love the anatomy on Spider-Man here in this too.
What's above the him in the back of the head?
Yeah. All right. On to number 6 this week. This one's interesting. Red Rooster. Shout out to Brian Wood for his first comic cover appearance. Okay, let's see here. Selling in Walmart's only, the secondary market price is $20 plus. Not bad for a $5 book that no one has really ever heard of. If anyone has read it, what are your thoughts? So I don't know, but I heard a rumor. I heard somebody talking about a book that was put out for a Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter never went through. So they gave it to, and they were selling at Walmart's. I don't know if this is that book, but I'm surprised that a non Marvel or DC book is selling at Walmart.
This cover is awesome with the watercolors on it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a book outside of Marvel or DC at Walmart.
What's that?
I haven't seen a book outside of Marvel and DC.
Yeah, neither
at
have I.
Walmart.
Neither have I.
What's a Red Rooster power? Let's see what's his power set here.
I imagine it probably has something to do with Soviet stuff. Maybe, I don't know. It almost looks kind of Soviet style stuff. But, I couldn't tell you. This is definitely not on my radar. But hey, if you're walking in your local Walmart and you walk past the cards and comics section and you see one of these for $5, grab it and sell it for 20. Make yourself a couple bucks.
He wants the cockle-doodle do good. I'll see
He's like
myself out, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
He's just a Russian who's really good at waking people up. Wake up! You're going to be late for work. Come on, let's go.
Well, before we go on to the next one, I want to remind everybody again about CBSI and comicbookinvest.com. This next book is part of this Star Wars craziness that has just been going nuts lately. And there's a really cool new article on here that gives you an idea of the timelines in the Star Wars era, different eras throughout the Star Wars universe. And it gives you books that take place during those timelines. And this helps a lot just to kind of get an idea of where everybody's at in the different timelines. You don't think about that a lot, but I love shit like this. I love lists like this that you can really geek out on and find out other stuff about maybe timelines that you really loved. A lot of this stuff, goes back to the book canon and stuff, but there's some really great new Star Wars articles coming out every day over at comicbookinvest.com. So make sure you guys go and check them out, and make sure you guys check out Absolute Geek Podcast, where I am joined by my homies right now.
I appreciate the accidental plug. Nothing wrong with a good accidental plug.
So this is Star Wars craziness. We've been talking about it on Absolute last couple of weeks. We've talking about it on CBSI and Flipside the last couple of weeks. It's just nuts. And the rumors or the talks about Boba Fett being in The Mandalorian and whether we're going to see his daughter is kind of making this book, Star Wars Tales number 7, just go through the roof. It should have been on the list last week. Ben, even said that, but it just kind of happened so quick when the news came out. And what Ben writes is, anything Boba Fett is hot at the moment after being announced for The Mandalorian. How are they going to do this, though? Will his resurrection suck, or will they use his daughter, who appears here first as a baby? In any case, people are gobbling this one up for $75 to $100 plus raw. So again, another Star Wars book that'll give you $100 in your hand if you can find one. So.
Oh, the cat's in the cradle on the Endor moon, little boy blue.
Hey, this cover is kick-ass, and there's also a really cool photo variant to this cover. It's kind of it reminds me of like a 70s style photo variant of Boba Fett. It's weird, but I love this series. Star Wars Tales is a great series. You can find a lot of great first appearances there, And Star Wars is going to be on this list for a long time to come, and a lot of these cool first appearances are starting to shoot through the roof. So on to number 4, with news of Sweet Tooth, being made into a series. It's back on the list, and this book is doing well for a while. Ben writes, sometimes hitting the $50 mark, but mostly selling for the $30 to $40 range. That'll change this week as copies have been selling for $125 to $200 raw after Robert Downey Jr. tweeted about how he's producing the show for Netflix. Crazy. Remember, I think we found this in a collection, Kyle. There was like 3 runs of it.
Mhm.
And this is a great series, really great series. If you get into it, it's a really cool series, and it's going to be a really cool show. But $200 raw for this book is nuts.
Crazy.
I don't know why someone doesn't offer Jeff Lemire kind of like what Miller got, where it's like we like a network's like we want to purchase all your original stuff together, because Jeff Lemire's got it's so many different genres, and there's such a wealth of material there.
I'm going to say it's only a matter of time before that happens.
Yeah,
Only a matter of time.
Yep. All right, on to number 3 this week, and we can't have a top 10 list without Noel making his appearance. And here he is in Web of Venom #1, the second print. And what Ben writes is what I just said. Can't keep him off the list. $5 a week ago, this book was going for, and now it's a $70 book. So
it's about sleep paralysis.
Yeah, that's like old hag syndrome right there. That almost looks like a cover, or homage to a Venom cover, old school Venom cover.
How much do you think the delays with Diamond and all that are up in the hype around Noel? Because I know we're all supposed to start getting the
great question.
His stuff in the books, and it keeps getting postponed, so it's just upping that hype for him.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of hype that's being cattywampus right now because of everything that's going on. But I think Noel is a really good character to spec on.
Yeah, we just did Silver Surfer Black on the Comic Exposure podcast, and Matt likes that. And Noel's in there, and I love the design of it. It's a great character.
Yeah, that book, book that he was in, that series was on the list last week, I believe. So, you just, like Ben says, you can't keep him off the list. He's just too hot. The spec is really good for this character. If you can find books, if you have books, his first appearances, I would hold on to him and maybe see what's going to happen in the movies coming up. All right. Last 2 books of the list. Ahsoka. She's just so hot right now that you can't expect her not to be at the top of the list. And not only is she at number 2, but she's at number 1 also.
You got really Magati right there. You're like, Ahsoka is so hot right now, so hot.
Everybody, Travis lives over in Japan, so he kind of I don't know. Is Ahsoka Japanese? It kind of sounds like Japanese.
It sounds like a Japanese name, Ahsoka.
It does.
It has all the syllables of a Japanese name.
Yeah. So, but before I go any further, because I just remembered you're out there in Japan. What's it like over there in Japan right now with the quarantine? How are you guys doing?
It's things are locked down. People are working from home. It's opened up a little bit more. Japanese are so used to dealing with panics and tragedies that even though that they're being very responsible about stuff, there is a sense of I just don't feel as less. I feel like the nature is less panicky. I feel like people are a little bit more level-headed about how they go about things, and it seems to be working out well. Things aren't spiking here. So, and also they're a pretty cleanly culture. Everything is wiped down before this. People were masked all the time. So,
all right, and back to from that U-turn. Number 2 is Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Now, this is the book that I would love to own right now. I tried to buy a copy for an outrageous price last week. And a matter of fact, I'll just say, I tried to buy this copy for $1,300 last week. Guy had it available. Guy had it up for $1,400, or buy it now for like $1,400. I put in an offer for $1,300, and he's like, sorry, I can't. I was like, Jesus Christ. This book is hot. And this is one of 1,000 copies. There was 10. I think they sent 10 copies to the 10 stores that sell the best in the Dark Horse stuff. This is when Dark Horse was doing their Dark Horse 100 stuff, where they were doing all the extra cool variants. So this was one of those 1 of 1,000 copies. And Star Wars: The Clone Wars #1 variant. Now, like I said, I tried to buy a copy for $1,300 and got turned away. This book is, selling for ridiculous prices, raw $500-600, maybe even more. And a 9.8 sold for $1,360. There we go. And a raw copy sold for $850 is what Ben writes. So I love this book. Super tough to find in good grade, and super tough to find at all. But if you have one, let me know. And the regular variant, the regular version of Star Wars: The Clone Wars #1 is another super hot book. Obviously, first appearance of Ahsoka again. And this book, Ben writes, is $800 and $900 sales this week for a 9.8. We've talked about this book ad nauseum, but it is otherworldly hot right now. A 9.6 copy will run you $500 as well. So just crazy stuff. I'm really excited, though, to see where this is going. What do you guys think we're going to see in Mandalorian? Do you think we're going to see Boba Fett's daughter?
Maybe season 3, but I don't think season 2.
I think they're going to tease it towards the end.
And do we see Sabine in this season 2?
I think so, yes.
That could be huge. That could be huge. And I saw that they just got Katie Sokoloff. Is that her name? To reprise. She voiced one of the characters in Clone Wars, and she's going to play the character in Mandalorian, it looks like. So I love what they're doing. They're really catering to the fans. Kathleen Kennedy be damned. I love Jon Favreau and what he's done. He's really put Star Wars on his back and kind of taken it back into the rare air. So like.
Like Ahsoka is so hot right now. She's going to be in Mandalorian season 2. She's supposed to have a bigger role in season 3, and there's talk of a spin-off series for her on Disney Plus. So I think she's going to be a character that's around for a long time, and it's going to change Star Wars history more than she already has.
Well, the interesting thing is that she is a tie to Skywalker, and they said they were done with the Skywalker saga. But if you have Ahsoka as a main character in the story, there's no way you're not going to talk about Anakin Skywalker, no, like period. Mm-hmm. So I love that shit, because that's what I am really I'm really fiending for, some Anakin Skywalker where he's evil, storylines like we're seeing in Vader, where he's going out and taking out in the early the reissue for Marvel, where he's going out and taking out all the other Jedis. I want to see that type of stuff. So maybe we will. All right. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Make sure you guys go check out Absolute Geek Podcast. Give them a sub. We really appreciate it. Make sure you sub to Flipside. And check out all the new shows that are going on. And we're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers. So give us a share or two, and we really appreciate it. Other than that, you guys got anything else?
No. That's it.
Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Happy collecting.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Later.
All right. That's fun as always, guys.
Hell yeah. All right,
Shit, I
I'm
was
jump
muted
back.
the whole time on this channel.
Fun as always.
There we go. Hell yeah. That was quick. I appreciate you guys working through that with me.
Yeah.
That's easy.
It's always fun to do.
I almost put that second print. I almost put it on eBay for like $5 yesterday. And I put it up. I got it out. And this is kind of, I got it out. I was looking at it, and I dropped it back in the box. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just wait. I'm not going to worry about it. I was like, I'm not going to worry about putting this Miles up for $5. I'm glad I did it now.
Yeah, $100 book, dude.
I would have wondered why it sold in about 8.1 seconds.
Yeah.
I would have been pissed.
Staying on the Star Wars, did you see that the guy who's going to do Boba Fett, who played Django in the prequels, is also going to be Rex?
Yes.
In Mandalorian. So, I mean, and there's a lot of talk that you're getting a lot of characters from Rebels going to show up in there too. So you're kind of getting the big crossover for all, like everything's kind of intersecting in the Mandalorian universe. It's pretty interesting.
Did I show you guys these last week?
No.
These Star Wars books. So all the Star Wars shit's going crazy, and so I went up and I was going through. I think I was looking for some cards or something, and I saw a short box that said Star Wars on it. So I grabbed it and started going through it. Almost every single one of the books that's super hot right now, other than those Clone Wars books, was in here. This is that Knights of the Old Republic. This is supposed to be a big book because of the Mandalore shit. Knights of the Old Republic #1. This is a super hot book right now. Dark Times #1, super hot book right now. All the Asajj Ventress stuff, super hot right now. This book is a $150 book right now. It's the first full appearance of Revan, but he's a Jedi, and I have 2 of them. This book's super, super hot. If you guys have copies of this, hold on to this book. This book is going to go crazy. Legacy #1, Adam Hughes cover 2. Found 3 of those. Found the Han Solo variant and the Boba Fett variant. Couldn't believe it. That's the type of shit that, like, I was going through this box and instantly got excited to maybe go check out a comic shop.
Ahsoka hasn't shown up in the Marvel Star Wars comic series yet, has it? Has she?
No.
So when she finally makes her first appearance, there, because we all pretty much guarantee it's going to happen. What's that going to? Do you think that's going to change the Dark Horse stuff that she's in?
No, because that Dark Horse stuff is already been cemented as her first appearance, and by what Star Wars is doing with Mandalorian and all the characters that they're bringing up, when Kathleen Kennedy said none of the comic stuff is canon, that's Jon Favreau basically told her go fuck yourself and started bringing in comic shit as canon.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So yes. So we're going to see a lot of stuff. There's a really good article on comicbookinvest.com that is like, gives you like 200 books of all the first appearances in Star Wars. And you can just check out that article on your phone, go to your local shop and just start looking through those. And you can probably find, $50 books for a couple bucks. Because Star Wars, everything Star Wars is super hot right now. Darth Maul.
Star Wars.
There are people that are going crazy over Star Wars magazines where it was like the first appearance of Sabine, Ahsoka from the Clone Wars,
Why is this all of a sudden? I mean, like, I could see it like a year ago before the latest movie came out or even in the fall of Mandalorian. Is it just slow build to this point, or
no? It caught fire when what's her name got announced as being rumored as casting Rosario.
Okay.
And just started catching even more fire and more fire and more fire, and then everything else because of Mandalorian, and then announced castings to that made all those other books go crazy. And now everybody's going, okay, I want to find all the first appearance of all the Siths. I want to find a first appearance of all the cool Jedis. All the first appearance of all the cool bounty hunters.
Well,
do you think with everyone's time indoors, people have finally maybe had a little more time to consume some of the ancillary stuff, and so they've been like going and watching Clone Wars and going in and maybe reading some of these comics on like a Kindle and things like that? Do you think it has anything to do with just the amount of time?
I think definitely, but the quarantines helped, and Disney Plus having that, you can watch all that on Disney Plus helped too. But like Brian was saying, it started with the Mandalorian. It started simmering, and then it picked up a little bit more when Rise of Skywalker came out. But when the final season of Clone Wars hit, in like the last 3 episodes, it cranked it up to like 11. And just all of a sudden, with the way Clone Wars ends and ties into everything, and Ahsoka cementing herself as a badass in the Star Wars universe, it just exploded again. And Star Wars is crazy all over again. So
I never watched the Clone Wars, and we might have talked about this before. I'm not a big fan of that style animation. I tried watching the first couple episodes of it. Do you? I don't know if you guys are a big fan of that animation. Does that drop away, and is the story just get more engrossing, where you like the animation doesn't affect it much, or do you think one of the reasons that show is such a hit is because the style it's done in?
Both.
I
The
think both,
storyline's
yeah.
great. The storyline's great.
By season
Okay.
5, it really picks up, but the end of season 7 really tips it over the edge. But you see, I'm the other way. Rebels, the next series after Clone Wars, I don't like the animation of Rebels. Like I can't watch it because
I have a hard time.
And I've only gone back and watched the Essential Ahsoka episodes, and that's it. I can't sit there.
Maybe
and
that's
watch
what
all
I'm.
of
Maybe
Rebels.
that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe I've confused them. But I remember sitting down and trying to watch one of those, and I was like, "Ooh, this animation is
Terrible.
Yeah,
It looks like
Rebels was bad for me. I think Clone
Like
Wars
shitty
animation is
computer
really good.
animation.
Yeah, it's like watching a reboot. If you ever remember the show, a reboot, terrible, shitty ass or Kodalioko, shitty ass Canadian animation or whatever it is. But
Transformers Beast Wars.
yep, kind of like that. There you go, Transformers.
Transformers
Beast
Beast Wars was badass back in
It
the
was
day.
badass, yes. The content was badass, but I mean, the computer animation for its time was really good too. But yeah, I would definitely say check out Clone Wars. It's
Clone
yeah,
Wars
it's a good
over
time.
Rebels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe taking a dive into one of those over during my summer break here.
You're
Yeah,
pretty-
there's a lot of cool stuff, man. Have you guys, if you haven't read Sandman, I keep telling people now is a great time to read Sandman.
We just read for the podcast. We just did the Lucifer spinoff.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Coming off that is good.
Yeah, I'm really excited for some Sandman stuff that's going to be happening here soon.
Yeah, I mean, I know they just did a script reading for it where and James McAvoy did the lead character's vocal or voiceovers, but have they even
Oh, I
said
can see
anything
that
else
working.
going with that?
Yeah.
Like they haven't said anything else with like coming to TV. I know they've been trying to put that in production for years now, but nothing's ever come of it.
Well, the last we heard is that it's going to be a TV series on, I think, HBO, right?
I mean, I've heard HBO, I've heard FXX. I mean, it's kind of been all over the place. I wouldn't be surprised if it was going to end up being HBO Max. But
I heard it's gonna be a Hot Topic production.
Hot Topic, there you go.
We're starting a network. It's like Care Bears and Sandman.
Yep. It's just going to be a bunch of emo kids that take the new drug in town called Care Bears, and they fall asleep and they meet the Sandman.
And they have shows.
If you look at Care Bear, you're gonna get so high, bro.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's so high, he's giving you the Care Bear stare. That's what Brian's doing right now, the Care Bear stare.
Trying to keep my eyes open.
He's just so gone. Just so gone. One of the big things talk about this too. Have you guys seen that Robert Pattinson has said that he's not gonna work out during quarantine? The Batman production is halted. Robert Pattinson said he wants to set a precedent and not work out during quarantine because he feels that Hollywood is controlling the way people's bodies look. And
Good. I'm so sick of my body image issues.
Me too.
your
Look
body
at Kyle is so done. He will only show us his head in the frame.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's so ashamed.
I don't want you to see this.
You won't
Guys.
judge my body.
I think the fact that there's a story about it that we're talking about it is fucking stupid.
He is an artist. He
I'm
doesn't
not
care.
a Pattinson. I'm not gonna work out while I'm quarantined. Fuck off.
He doesn't care about working out.
Vampire.
He is an artiste.
Isn't that the dream though? Is getting cast in one of these superhero movies and getting like the world's best nutritionist and the best trainer and just being like, holy smokes, I'm about to change the physical structure of my body. I think that would be like the fun part of getting that gig is just
Look what it
the
did for
amount of support
what's his
you
name,
have.
Camille Nanjiani, the dude from
Yeah.
Silicon Valley. He's in Eternals and he got jacked like overnight. It feels like and like everyone's all over him now. Like he's
Or
not
like
the hottest
Chris-
thing in Hollywood.
Chris Pratt back in the day and all these people. And it just seems like they always complain about it's like, oh, I couldn't eat anything. But you're like, dude, like, come on now. Come on. Like It's changed your career. You get totally different roles now. You know, every chick at the bar wants to fuck you. Like you're good. I'm like, you got to eat strawberries for like a week straight. So what? Shut the fuck up.
Hey Kyle, we want you to play Dick Grayson in a Batman movie, but you got to work out. You know what, man? I'm gonna have to tell you, it's a hard pass. I'm gonna have to decline it. You know, I like being a fat, tubby piece of shit.
Well, Kyle, we're gonna get you a personal chef, and we're gonna build a gym in your house. What do you say now, buddy?
I don't do push-ups. As long as I could just eat Kentucky Fried Chicken and sit there and do nothing.
Getting out of bed accounts for a sit-up. Just attempting to get out of bed in the morning counts as a sit-up. What? Just,
I can't drink any more whiskey.
Count me off, babe. And 1.
I'm
Time
gonna.
that I break a sweat when I go to my room to my office chair.
Like, he doesn't need to be built. Like, I don't think he needs to be built. He just needs to maintain his frame and stay in shape. Because Keaton wasn't big. Keaton wasn't massive. It's just
I don't
all of a
like
sudden
I don't like a
massive,
big
like.
Yeah, I don't like a big buff Batman. You can't move around easily. I like a more aerobatic, you know, a swan-like Batman, if you will.
I mean, I liked Ben Affleck's Batman for the character he was portraying, that Dark Knight Returns style Batman, the thicker, but
He doesn't need to be like super ripped, man. He
no,
just needs to be toned, and I'm sure he probably already is from just
being a vampire,
being a vampire,
being sparkly.
drinking blood, you know, and running really fast up the mountain to catch his girlfriend, you know. But
right. Look at Captain.
I
Solo
can read minds.
says Solo. He says, "Look at Captain America, Chris. In the beginning, he was tiny. Then, boom, started to work out and gets his cat bod." It's true.
He did it with drugs, though.
I would just wish I could be cast in a movie and, you know, like Travis said, have personal chefs and trainers come over and build a gym in my house and just get paid millions of dollars to just work out for 12 hours a day.
Yeah, and have all the best like drugs. Like, yeah, it's like I'm not competing.
Like weed.
Fucking shoot me up with testosterone, man. That's
You're
fine.
not sitting here trying to decide like what protein powder to use or what supplement.
Yeah.
What supplement to use. You got people doing like take this, drink that. You're doing it all for you.
Yeah, that's the hard part about getting in shape. You feel like you're doing stuff and you're like, is this even helping? Am I putting all this effort for like little reward? But you know that if you have this great trainer, everything you do is going to have some positive outcome physically and the way you look and the way you perform.
I'm gonna start trying the 4-second exercise routine. Have
Well,
you heard that?
I noticed that you and Brian are already on the 12-ounce curl diets. He's curling them 12-ounce squirts, and you're hitting them 12-ounce whiskey cokes.
This is a cake for a love machine.
Look at Brian's doing a lap right now around his house.
He's already winded.
Trying to find weed.
He's on a scavenger hunt. He's on the scavenger hunt for that Swamp Thing weed.
He's doing the 1-ounce curls.
Yep. That Swamp Thing weed. It's like Grandma's boy. It's a Frankenstein, where they call it the Frankenstein, because after you smoke it, you walk like Frankenstein. Brian's is the Swamp Thing. After he smokes it, he partners with a dude who calls himself Constantine, and they go and investigate paranormal activities.
There you go. Yeah, you should create
When
strains
in
based
reality,
on like,
Brian just gets really high and passes out in his backyard and stares up at the sky and thinks he's
It never
light.
happened. He just,
Yeah.
dude, you know what I just did?
he wakes up with grass stains on him. All of a sudden, he thinks he's Swamp Thing.
No, dude, you're just sitting in a lawn chair. No, man, I was hunting ghosts. No, I'm telling you, you're sitting in a lawn chair. Then he fell over. No, I did it.
He's just so stoned. His brother just comes over and kicks over his chair, and he just lays in the grass.
Leave me.
Abby's just licking him in the face.
Yeah.
Today's been a long day, man. I feel like half out of it. It's like lucid dreaming right now.
Good for you.
There you go. This is all a dream,
You-
man. Like the
You guys were
aliens.
talking about, I don't know, it must have been episodes ago on, I think Matt brought it up, when like quarantine was really tight about doing like a 24-hour geek podcast marathon where you just like keep it going for 24 hours. And I thought that was a brilliant idea.
Just
Like,
tag
everyone
off.
comes in.
It's so
with-
brilliant
with-
that we did it.
Yeah.
Well, you did not promote that shit well enough.
No, we didn't.
Did
I
you
would
do
love
it?
to
Did you
do
really
it.
do it 24 hours? Did you guys do it?
No.
Oh,
I would love
God.
to, though. I would
Like,
love
I
to
was
do it.
invited.
I would love to do it between all of the local and geek podcasts and just do a 24-hour
Everyone-
show and
ev-
tag off.
Everyone like has like an hour like thing they're going to talk about where they can do like the online slides. You'd be like, I'm going to talk about Ahsoka's ass for like an hour. I don't know, whatever. it is.
This is the show that
But-
can do that. We
Yeah.
talked about Batman's route for a good hour and a half. We could definitely
Shit,
talk
2 weeks.
about.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
we could definitely talk about Ahsoka. We could do the best ass in comics. There we go. 24 hours. We got content for that.
Yeah, let's
Just
do it.
tag off between all the shows.
We
and
should
then-
do it for New Year's.
And then when everyone is finally ready to go to sleep, we'll have Couch Crunchers go last to just put everyone out. Just to make you all go night night. There it is. I'm just
That's what we
kidding.
should do. That's what we should, that's how we should ring in 2021.
There we go. Just a 24-hour podcast.
Yeah.
We got to make sure that we get the prime slot though.
What?
I don't know what the prime slot would be.
11
Midnight?
p.m. for 1.
Yeah, when everyone's watching us all drunk and high. But we should. I would totally be down for it. 24 hours of a podcast. We'd have to find like a dope charity to do it for or something. Really promote that shit.
We
Yeah,
could do
everyone
it
takes
for
shifts.
charity
People-
of Kyle's Volkswagen.
There you go. Kyle's Volkswagen Fund.
We just do shifts of 3 people, you know?
There you go. Mix and match it.
I'm a different time zone, so I can pick up those late hours.
Oh yeah, he can go the hours where we're all sleeping and it's the middle of the day there, huh? There you go. It works. You just gotta make sure that you get what's your Josh is your partner's name?
Yeah.
He's just gotta be hammered, just like on our show, hammered the entire time though. Like just telling everyone to shut up and just interrupting. He's gotta be that hammered the entire time.
There's like a 20-minute sweet peak spot with Josh, and once you get over that, then I become sloppy.
Yep.
He's in his prime for 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're like, hold on, it's starting, guys. Like a beautiful geranium just blooming just for
He wanted
20
to do
minutes,
some
guys.
drinking, and he came on the right show to do that.
Yeah.
Just hammered drunk.
Why is all chat's messages getting deleted?
I don't know. I'm not doing anything with the chat. Michael Stout's deleting him.
Why?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Did he get put in timeout for something?
Must be awesome.
Or he got put in timeout for something? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that.
Everyone, though.
I know. Solo Wookiee was hidden by Michael Stout. Solo Wookiee was unhidden by Michael Stout. I don't know what's going on here.
Awesome.
Funny stuff. Good stuff. So, do the consensus New Mutants. New Mutants got another release date in,
Who
in August.
cares at this point?
Oh, he said because my son's a dickhead and grabbed my phone. God.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
New Mutants, is it coming out in August finally? Does anybody care anymore? Is this movie just dead in the water and old news now?
I put New Mutants in the same bag as the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
More like snooze moons. Am I right, guys?
Right. Tim says,
ComicExposure.com.
"Shit, I got shut down." I do like your shameless plugs though, Travis.
Yeah.
Any show you got. This comment is brought to you by ComicExposure.com. There you go. Just your shameless plug wherever you can get it in.
That's right.
But I think general consensus is no one cares about New Mutants anymore.
I agree.
Ended already.
Too much of a tease.
I tried rewatching the trailer again for this podcast to see if it sparked any kind of like, oh, am I still? And I shut it off like 30
Yeah.
seconds into it.
Right? Who cares? So I was telling, like, so originally this episode was gonna have a very different title. I was gonna go over a very idiocracy way with it and say, idiocracy brought to you by Amazon, because Amazon is looking at buying AMC theaters who are about to file bankruptcy and buying them out. So instead of Carl's Jr. buying up the world like an idiocracy, maybe it's Amazon that's gonna do it.
I think it's going to be a tight race between Amazon and Facebook.
And Disney.
And Disney, yeah, it's gonna be a
That's-
three-way
that's-
tie,
I
three-way
think that-
race.
I'm really worried about this. I'm really worried about theaters right now. Kind of like the way we were worried about comic shops, you know. It's just, I mean, it's just so important to our culture to have that place to go to and to have it run by people who respect the medium and want to showcase it, innovate it, and also same time have places to go and you can watch old movies on real film. And there's this mix of constantly reinventing the form and how we watch it, and also going back and like playing the classic movies in different ways. And I don't know, man. It's I hate to think that if I ever do decide to have children, that in 15 years, like I can share with him that same kind of experience of going to a movie theater. And I know things change, and I know that there are plenty of things like the drive-in theater just isn't really a thing anymore. But man, I think that our culture, especially American culture, would lose so much if we don't protect these theaters and we don't let these big theater chains be put in the hands of people who really care about them and are really willing to give them the attention and love that they deserve.
That's actually one of the things here in this whole quarantine thing that have like been reinvigorated is the drive-in theater. Like they've got pop-up drive-in theaters all over town, Mesa and out in the lakes and things like that. They're doing pop-up drive-in theaters, so it's pretty cool.
Driving like 2 miles from my house, they're
Yeah.
always packed.
So
Yeah,
kind of reinvigorated that medium too. But
that was always a dream of mine. It was to open like not a theater, but like a movie house where you just make it an experience, where you do those things. Where like for the next 3 nights, we're showing, you know, all the Ninja Turtle movies back to back, and people are coming in costumes, and we're bringing in old Ninja Turtle arcade games for the lobby, and we're, you know, like just like really like theming stuff out and making it an experience and doing that again. But there's no money in that. You know, like you would go bankrupt. I mean, people have tried to do stuff like that, and
like Film Bar
it's always
downtown.
yeah, it always comes in like really hot. And I think even Film Bar, I think does a good job at that. I think they could take it further, but they probably don't. It's probably not their, whoever owns it. I guarantee they're not making money hand over foot on that place.
No.
No.
I actually been doing a lot of stuff at Film Bar lately with the podcast stuff, and that place is just hanging on threads.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised they get through the.
They sold a shitload of like lifetime passes that really it kept them going. But the only problem is they sold like all these passes and all these certain things, and now when it catches up, people have already bought this, and now they're going and they're going to be able to reap these benefits of having this, you know, this stuff that they bought to keep it open during quarantine. I think that's going to be the hard part later.
Well, I think we're giving, you know, we're talking about like stimulus packages to different sectors, business sectors of society. I think film needs to be in there. We underestimate the importance of film in spreading the idea of, you know, democracy in the last 100 years. The reason that American culture permeates the world is because of the film industry. The reason that American culture and some of these ideals that we hold dear are being adopted, and we're seeing that and being appreciated is because of film. And if we're going to bolster the airline industry, which has done nothing but, you know, rape customers for the last 20 years, excuse the hyperbole, we've got to back up. We've got to put some dollars down to save this institution.
I agree, 100%. I mean, film, no matter how you slice it, going to the theater is always an experience. And like I know Kyle likes to watch it at home. I prefer going to the theater. I know a lot of people that are on both sides of that fence, but it's always a spectacle to go to watch a movie in the theater, and you know it's an experience, and you pay for the experience as much as the film. So I agree. I think it's an industry that is worth saving, but then again, it's an industry that's got to kind of save itself too a little bit.
Yeah.
And they can't rely on reboots and remakes and superhero movies. They gotta kind of find that, you know, more originality or a new voice and kind of spread itself and boots itself into the, you know, the now, instead of trying to live in the past and capitalize on what once was.
That's an excellent point. Maybe you're right. You make an excellent point. Maybe by letting it's got that phoenix rising, right? Maybe if we let it kind of crumble, it will come back in a new way that is going to make some corrections to kind of like this doldrum of these remakes and like we've seen the last 20 years. Maybe this is kind of like the plague wiping out kind of that business mindset, and we can get some more newer voices, newer styles and stuff like that. Are you guys pretty good at remembering if you like saw like Robin Hood Men Tights in theater?
Memory, nope. I'm sorry, what was that, Travis?
When it comes to movies, are you, especially movies you saw when you were a kid or a teenager, can you be like, oh, I definitely saw a movie in the theater and I can tell you who I was with?
Oh yeah, I can.
Brian, no, he's like, no.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I remember The Crow. I went with my buddy Chuck to go see it when it came out. We stole a bunch of money from his stepdad so we can go see it. Quarters.
Yeah. So many stories of, I think, individual lives are revolved around like, oh, I remember seeing that movie with this person, and then you can remember the kind of day around it. We stole quarters, we went to this, or it was the day after prom, we were all hungover, you know, this, and so these movies become going to a theater. Now, if I stream something and I'm like, I sound like, oh yeah, I watched that on my couch 3 years ago with so and so. It doesn't have that kind of resonance.
No, I remember lying to my mom and telling her I was going to see another movie and snuck in with my buddy to go see Starship Troopers. Kind of the same thing for Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So,
I remember my grandma took me to go see Dream a Little Dream.
That's cute.
And she was like, what the fuck is this movie?
I remember seeing Wayne's World for the first time and laughing so hysterically.
And I never learned to read.
Wayne's World was so fucking funny, man.
yeah,
I remember them not letting us get into Terminator 2. My dad bought us the tickets and was like, here you guys go, and let us walk in with them. And they're like, no, we're not going to let you in. And my dad went fucking ballistic on them. Like, if I want my kids to see the movie, they can see the fucking movie. Fucking yelling at them and shit.
They let you in?
Fuck no. All we did is said we're going to go see another movie and just snuck in.
See, my grandfather, when I was a kid, I didn't go to a lot of movies when I was real young, so he would always run them from Blockbuster and then like record them on another tape and send them to me. So that's like how I got the Ninja Turtles movie and all that. I had it on a bootlegged VHS copy. But I remember the first movie I went to see with my dad was Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Oh, wow.
My dad took me to go see Beavis and Butthead Do America.
I thought for a second there you're gonna be like, you know, my grandpa, you know, he wouldn't take me to the movies, but he would reenact them for me.
Yeah, that'd be
all
fantastic.
Right, so and then Garth comes in and he's all like, swing.
Yes, and he sounds just like Billy Madison too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, my grandpa's version of Billy Madison was much better than the movie Billy Madison.
And then he rolled down the window and said, "Do you have any gray poop on Shablaboo?"
Yeah. Shampoo is better.
There you go. Just reenact movies like that. I got real Broadway plays. Real cinema is my movie going experience. It's like Be Kind, Rewind. My grandfather just reenacted the movies for me. That's how that went. Oh man. But times, so I don't know. People are saying times are changing in quarantine. I've yet to really, like I said, our quarantine just ended today. I've yet to really go out and eat at a restaurant yet, or try to go out to anywhere but the grocery store, which I'm going to do that tomorrow. But
you bought all those comics, man. Your funds are low.
They are. Well, you know, honestly, Corona's been a big supporter in that, because since San Diego Comic-Con got shut down and all these conventions that I've been saving up for got shut down, I had a little bit of throwing around money, so I just threw it around on comics that I probably would have bought there anyway. So
Yeah, I just bought a guitar last night on a whim on and I was just like, I'm just gonna buy this because I'm gonna be stuck at it's still like on lockdown here in Japan. I'm like, well, I'll probably, and I'm the teacher, so I have summer break coming up, so I don't even have the distraction of online classes. So I'm qualifying purchases based on like, oh yeah, I have all this time. I should get a new guitar because then I can play it more. Or I should spend this much money on the whole Preacher omnibus because I have the summer to read it. And it's killing me. My rationalization for spending money based on the fact that I'm going to be stuck at home is killing my bank account.
Oh, I'm sure
I'm
we'll
gonna
all
buy
be
a project car.
Yeah, we'll all be
exactly.
quarantined again in about a month and a half because people are treating it like we said, we were joking around at the beginning of the show, but when you go out here, you see people are treating it like Corona doesn't exist anymore. And there's no social distancing. Most people aren't wearing masks. Yeah, they're treating it like nothing ever happened. So, and we're going to be locked down again in probably a month and a half anyways. So we'll revisit that when we're all in lockdown again. But where I was going with that is some restaurants are going to extreme lengths to make sure that you socially distance. There's restaurants using blow-up dolls to enforce social distancing. So in every empty seat to spread people apart, they're putting blow-up dolls, which is kind of
I call them inflatable erotic partners, Matt.
I think in China they're putting pandas in chairs, like little stuffed pandas.
I thought like real pandas, just munching on bamboo, just eyeballing you.
They're just looking at you.
Crazy.
All right, so so the story is they're putting inflatable things in there to just kind of like give the illusion that it's full.
Yep, to give the illusion that it's full and to have people know where they can and can't sit. So if you walk in and you see a restaurant full of inflatable dolls, that's probably why.
Are they really this? I wonder if they're really the sex doll ones with the faces that look like this. They're just like,
Giant
You
open
are
mouth.
my outfit. It's a huge orgy.
People are just shoving breadsticks in the mouth, like, ooh, look at this.
have you
That's
guys?
not a
Did you guys?
breadstick. Turn your head, Timmy. Turn your head.
Did any of you guys go to that Marvel restaurant there that's opened in? I forgot where it is in Phoenix. I've never been to it.
Look away.
But it opened up like it. Did you guys go to it?
No, I haven't been there yet.
Yeah. They get dressed their inflatable dolls up like superheroes.
There you go.
Even
Yeah.
better.
And we could sell them our superhero scented candles.
Yeah,
Come
exactly.
back around, full circle. Hey, if Gwyneth Paltrow could send you a candle that smells like a vagina, which I 100% believe started a coronavirus, we can send you
Madonna
one
had one that smelled like her butt.
Yeah, we can send one that smells like.
Did she really
superheroes.
have one that smelled like her butt? What does that smell like? Does it smell like Warren Beatty's dick?
I don't know. You tell us.
Yeah, it smells like Dick Tracy.
But
And hey, at least you get to smell fucking Madonna's butt candle.
I don't like the smell of butt. Period. Why would I want to smell Madonna's butt?
Because Madonna's butt must smell like fucking.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
geranium.
Oh, dude, it's like a circus. It
Yeah.
smells like peanuts and popcorn.
And elephant shit.
Oh, man, it smells like fresh rain in this restaurant. What is it? Oh, that is our new candle. Oda Madonna's ass. Yeah, I don't know.
So you can burn Madonna's ass while Gwyneth's vagina is burning.
Yeah, there you go.
Derriere
You get the-
Madonna.
You get the cross scent. Scent of
Dude.
a Hollywood woman when you cross the 2 cents. It's like Ghostbusters. Don't cross the streams. Don't cross the ass and vagina scents. Jesus. What a world.
You're
we live
burning the
So
you're
close to
burning
the
the J-Lo ass with the Madonna vag, man. I told
Yeah.
you not to do that, bro.
in. Yeah.
Oh man, my bad.
Oh,
It smells like a Boy Scout potluck in here. Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Oh
God.
man.
Wow. Oh man. A Boy Scout potluck.
I don't even know what that means. Just pulled random words together.
Hey, it doesn't turn out well, but what are you gonna do? And the last little thing I had is the Schumachers have want you to understand that they are very, 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 very sorry that they ever made Batman and Robin. They have come out and officially apologized for writing and making Batman. And
Why?
Robin.
What triggered them to come out and say that?
Just because it's such a terrible movie and it's highly regarded as one of the worst movies ever made.
I mean, like they're stuck in quarantine. They dwelled on it so much.
I guess,
It was like
or people have
they
nothing
just
better to
thought
do than tweet him and be like, "Hey Schumacher, your movie fucking sucks."
Do we get reparations now because
He's
they officially
sitting-
apologized?
he's sitting there and he's like, "Fuck, man. You know what? That movie fucking sucked. I can't believe it took me this long to figure it out. Damn. Like, what the fuck, man? He must have taken like acid or something, and it was like on this weird dwelling trip or something.
Yeah, he was taking some like psychoanalysis, yeah, just coming into terms with his demons.
He had a virtual, session, and it came out in the session.
And tell us now about und Batman and Robin. How does it make you feel? And he's like, actually, I feel kind of shitty. Let's go further into this.
Yeah. So
Tell me about it.
Batman and Robin was critically revealed and remains the lowest grossing live action Batman movie at the worldwide box office.
Wow.
The movie has received the most nominations at the Golden Raspberry Awards. The worst, they awarded the worst film, with Alicia Silverstone winning the worst supporting actress award.
So much money in that movie.
Which I'm sad Corbin's not on tonight because he's like he wants to debate me tooth and nail that Batman Forever is the greatest superhero movie ever made.
Was he saying that dumb shit like last week?
Yes, and he's been saying it all week long. Because Corbin, love the guy, but when you get him on something, he sticks to his guns.
Hey, good for him.
That's why
We're just casual Batman fans, though.
That's why we're still hearing about Gotham by Gaslight. What are you gonna do?
Fucking casual Batman fans, motherfuckers.
Goddamn casuals.
Filthy casual Batman
So,
fans.
Travis, I gotta ask you a question. Solo Wookie in our chat is very worried about this. This is about the second or third time he's asked me. He wants to know if you've gotten any Trump bucks being in Japan.
I do, because I pay state and federal taxes, so they gave me Trump bucks.
There you go. Not
Mhm.
even in the economy, and he's stimulating the economy. He's stimulating the Japanese economy, huh? Good for you.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I buy from Amazon too. We all give it to Amazon.
Buy from Amazon too.
You get the cool Amazon though, don't you? The Japanese
Did you
Amazon.
see that?
You have to have
fucking-
separate. You have to have a separate account. I have to buy 2 Amazon Primes. My American Amazon Prime doesn't transfer over to my Japanese Amazon Prime.
Oh no, that's terrible.
And they won't leave stuff on your doorstep here. They're too kind. They're like,
and
oh, we'll just
that's
come back.
why
We will come back to you.
Trillionaire.
They're like, we don't want it to get stolen. We will come back for you.
We will just wait here for you to come home.
You just come down. There's a little Japanese man kneeling at your doorstep. What are you doing? I have a package for you. And he hands it-
I've been
hands it.
gone for a week. I am very hungry.
He wants to know if you're on a limited time work visa.
No, I'm gonna. It's called. This is like deep cuts. I'm on a SOFA, a status forces agreement. So it means that because I'm connected with the United States government, they give you it's called a status forces agreement, which is a visa, which means as long as you have your orders through the military, then you can live here.
Yeah, because you're a teacher on the military base, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. It takes a village, people, of teachers.
Village people.
Yeah, there you go. YMCA. So I guess the moral of tonight's episode is superhero scented candles. Buy a project car, and you still get stimulated if you were an American citizen in Japan.
Guys, I'm gonna look to see if how much it is to create your own candle scent, and I feel like each of our podcasts should create a specific scent.
And hygiene.
I don't know what the smell of awesomeness is though, because that would be our
It smells like
podcast.
whiskey and Coke.
Yeah, whiskey and Coke,
Whiskey.
Finely aged whiskey and Coke.
unwashed beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys put like flakes of your beard in it, and every candle if you melt it down, you end up with a pool of melted wax and just beard hairs or cube hairs.
Salt, pepper beard in there.
Gross.
There you go. Little salt and pepper beard. With the faintest stench of OG Kush.
There you go. Yeah,
That's how you know you got a little Brian in your candle. When you buy an
Brian.
Absolute Geek candle, you can tell by the smells who's in your candles. You get the little faintest smell of some OG Kush. There's a little bit of Brian in every candle.
whiskey and Coke. You got some Kyle.
Yep, whiskey and Coke.
If it smells like a penguin, you got Matt.
Yeah, it's a little all fishy. But speaking of Kyle, hey, if you guys want to support the show and you got your Trump bucks and stimulated, those Kyle Signature Series shirts are still on sale on our Etsy shop. Link in the description below. There you go. Do that. Support the show and buy a Kyle shirt, because who doesn't want a Kyle shirt, right?
I want a Kyle shirt.
There you go. And this commercial was brought to you by comicexposure.com. There you go. Give you a little shameless plug.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of is. You guys, anybody got anything else you want to talk about this week before we head out into the world?
Light week.
It is.
I got a few books left up on eBay. I'm about to discount them. If you want them, buy the rest up, because I'm not selling any more books anymore. So if you guys want to, I got some Walking Deads up there. I got some Green Lanterns up there.
Thank you, Corbin, for sharing that you're toileted at this time.
Right. He's in there pissing out of his asshole. He's like, all the smell.
I like the past tense of toilet. I like turning it. I'm toileted.
Somebody get Corbin the Batman candle to take care of his bathroom smell.
Ooh, I like that.
Get sweaty leather.
Sweaty leather.
Take care of your bathroom smell.
Smells like gaslight.
Sweaty leather. There you go.
Oh,
Brian's candle could work both ways. It could work for the poison ivy and the swamp thing.
Do you think his favorite? Do you think this is like Corbin has this ultimate like
how the fuck
giant
did Corbin
game he's
become a
playing with you?
moderator?
When he says, Gotham by Gaslight is like his favorite book, and then he gaslights you on comments like Batman Forever, is it? Do you think this is all a big scheme to just constantly gaslight you? And he's like the Riddler, he's hidden that phrase in his favorite comic book of all time. Could this be a giant game that he's playing? Is he really a genius?
I mean, I heard
it's just Corbin's long work. He's just it's a work.
I've heard that the reason he's single is because the last girl he was dating broke up with him after he gaslighted her. And when I say gaslight, his favorite thing to do is dress up in his Batman PJs, the ones we all had as kids with the little cape on the back. And he would give her the Dutch oven, but instead of a Dutch oven, he would call that a gaslight. So he's just gaslights her. And she couldn't take it anymore, so she had to leave.
And if you get a candle that doesn't light because it's sucked out of energy, you got one from Matt.
There you go.
Smells like Campbell's soup.
Candle. Yeah, smells like candle soup. That's a good one too. Damn.
This one won't light.
You're just getting tired as you're trying to light it. More exhausted. There you go. That's me. Sucking the energy out of everything.
How the fuck did Corbin... Someone take his moderator privileges away.
Why? Why does that bother you so bad? Oh man, it's ugly. I'm glad he's giving us a play-by-play of his bathroom antics.
I don't want any pictures. He doesn't have to prove it.
Yes, please don't prove it. But yeah, anything? What are you guys doing over in Comic Exposure, Travis? Kind of tell us what you guys got going on over there.
Yeah, we've been since the quarantine, man. We've been doing normally do like every 2 weeks. So we've been doing trades every week. We're just finished Batman, The Last Night on Earth. So that's up now. Next week, we're putting up Lucifer, and then we're going to go into our Marvelous Summer event, where every week we're doing like a different keystone story arc that we hadn't read about in Marvel. And so, yeah, it should be a good time.
Nice. Interesting. Where can everyone find you guys at?
Oh, you can find us at comicexposure.com or on any of your podcast platforms like Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. But we're not a visual podcast, so we don't have this cool setup that you guys have right now. So we're only audio, only for your ears.
See, gotta go visual, man. Kyle, we're getting requests from people in the chat that you share your eBay store.
I think it's Phoenix Comics. We have issues.
Yeah.
I think if you
That's a good title. That's a good title.
Fucking A.
Brian came up with that one.
It's solid.
Fucking A. What have you guys been up to on the old podcast, Brian?
We're starting to finally bring in new people again with the quarantine ending here, so that's good.
At a socially safe distance, right? Just making sure that I know a couple episodes ago I saw Keith pull out the tape measure and he went for the 6 foot.
Yeah, that was kind of fucking pissed me off, that fucking dick. But yeah, so we're just chilling, man. We're filling schedules, man.
There you go.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, all right, guys. I think that's going to be it for this week. It was a light show, but I want to thank Travis for joining us. You said an hour and a half, but when you get hanging out with us, the good times just roll on, and you just hang out a little bit longer, huh?
Roll.
So,
yeah.
good times roll.
Pretty close to an hour and a half.
We appreciate you hanging out with us and joining us last minute and filling in for Corbin, who's currently apparently sweaty locked on the toilet. But guys, if this is your first time checking us out on YouTube, please make sure that like and subscribe button and leave a comment below. Make sure you got that notification bell clicked so you know when we go live every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. Arizona time or Mountain Standard Time if you want to be specific. Make sure to check out Travis.
Pacific time.
Or what? Mountain Time.
Pacific.
Or Pacific Time, either way. You guys check out Travis on Comic Exposure. Make sure to check out Brian on CBSI present Tales from the Flip Side. Bogcast.
Tale from the Spinner.
Hot 10.
Side.
Brian's Weed Stash. Ripping Packs with Mac. Wax with Max. Whatever, like every 19 other shows Brian does. Yes, make sure to check out Tales from the Spinner Rack and get all your comic book centered.
So are you gonna do? Are you gonna do another fantasy draft again for the third week in a row?
No, so we did a couple weeks ago. We did a build your own Avengers team where we built our own Avengers team with any Marvel character. That was fun. Last week we did a Justice League fantasy draft where we basically like a fantasy football drafted our own Justice League teams. That was fun. This week we're doing best, in our opinion, best movies versus best comic book movies that are as close or as accurate to comic books as possible. So we're going to debate that. So I'm probably going to hear Corbin talk about Batman Forever for like the 19th time this week. Can't wait for that. But yeah. Still got good stuff on Sundays on Tales from the Spinner Rack where we break down all your new release comics. But since there's no new release comics until next week, that's what we're doing this week. So it's a lot of fun if you want to join us on a Sunday evening. But
What time do you guys do that on Sunday?
3 p.m. Arizona time. So it's a lot of fun. You should come on sometime. Kyle will never come on because he hates it.
Yeah, I've been working from home, and so when I'm doing my morning stuff, I've caught you guys the last couple of weeks. I'm normally not home during that time. It's been nice.
It's good stuff. Yeah, because I forget it's Monday morning where you are, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So
I just like to bust balls.
yes, you do. Or
It's funny.
you just got to castrate a dude, huh? But guys, if you're listening to this playback on Monday, please make sure to
We're gonna do the Batman Dream Team.
please make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. It helps
We
us
got- we're
in
gonna
all
do
of
that.
our podcasting standings.
Dream Team.
What podcasting platforms can they find your show on, Travis?
iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, pretty much on the major ones.
There you go. Make sure to
You guys should do a best trade Dream Team Fantasy League.
all right. Well,
That's a good idea.
For this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Brian.
I'm Travis.
And we'll see you guys next time. Remember the takeaway from this week. Wash your nasty ass. Coming out of quarantine. You know who you are. All you nerds. Travis
I
says,
take 2 showers a day.
Travis says you all stinky. You need to make
Take it from
wear
a former
deodorant.
stinky kid. I know him when I smell him.
A recovering stinky
Doro
kid.
guide.
We